Hi and welcome back to my channel. I'm Helen and today I have a 30-minute cardio Pilates class for you. And the best part about this is that it's absolutely zero impact, so it's safe if you were working with an ankle or a foot injury like I am and you still want to get a good sweat on. It's about moderate intensity, so if you're looking for a really deep intense workout, I recommend doing this workout twice if you're up for it and you have the time. And if you like this workout, please like, subscribe, and comment below so I know you're here. And remember that you can find this and over 400 other Pilates, cardio, stretch, and mindfulness workouts and classes on Helen Phelan Studio, where we talk about intuitive eating, anti-diet wellness, and maintaining a healthy body image as well. So I hope to see you there and have a great class. Welcome back to Helen Phelan Studio. Today we have a 20-ish, 30-ish minutes. We'll see how much time I end up taking talking. Welcome back to Helen Phelan Studio. Today we have an optional hand weight cardio Pilates class. You can absolutely do this without the weights if you want, but we're going to be doing a little bit of punching, and if you want some more resistance for that, go ahead and grab your light weights, no heavier than 3 pounds. We'll go ahead and get started right away with some core work to get us started. So you'll lay down on your back, legs will find a tabletop position, hands come right to the thighs, you're in a neutral pelvis. You exhale, curl up, press as hard as you can, hands into the thighs, thighs back into the hands as well, and then inhale, release it down. Exhale, curl up, squeeze thighs and hands together. Really right away feeling that deepest to lowest ab connection. Knees are at that nice right angle stacked on top of the hips. Take your time at the top of each of these presses. Really feel the lowest part of your waist cinching inward. Corseting to support your spine. For 2, already feel this. Last one, lift it up, stay up. Now take your right hand on top of your left hand. Reach your left leg out straight in front of you. Fold it back in. Try to press harder into the thigh as you extend the leg. So there's this pressing action happening as the leg is also pressing out. We're here for another few. Get comfy, curl up even deeper. Try to get your shoulder blades off the ground. Or your option is to be completely on the ground, but you don't want to be here in that halfway position because it really strains your neck. Let's go 2. And 1, hold it out there. Now, we add even more pressure of hands to thigh. We open that left leg to the left. We bring it center. We kick it up to the sky. So it goes out once, up once. Keep those shoulder blades lifted off the floor, sliding down away from your ears. Press into your right thigh to stabilize that standing side. And try to keep your hips super level, especially as this leg goes open. I know it's very tempting to shift your weight and your pelvis there. Try to keep it stable. Getting our core nice and warm before we move on to our cardio sequencing. Now, last time here. Hug that right knee and rest your head. Look right, look left. Let's keep the neck nice and happy. Swirl this knee around a few times. And then just change it out. We're going to take the right hand on top of the left hand, curl up, push into your thighs, reach the right leg straight. We're doing the same thing, lower it back down. Curling all the way up and lowering it back down. Shoulder blades sliding away from the ears, really stretch out through that leg. If you want to stay in your curl the whole time, that's also an option, depending on what your neck needs, what your body needs. Keep your hips both evenly placed on the floor. And the lower we reach out through this extending leg, the more challenging it's going to be. So you decide what you need for today's class. Maybe next time you replay it, you go a little lower. Last 2. Press into your hands even more, hold it. Now let's separate right leg, squeeze it center, reach it up to the sky. Separate it. Reach it up to the sky. Now I'm not really flexing my foot too much on this side because this is my injured foot. But if you want a little extra stretch at the top there, you can flex your foot if you don't have an injury. And remember, your knee does not have to be totally straight. You just get it as straight as your leg goes for your stretch. Few more, let's go 2 more sets. Out and up. Can you press into that left thigh a little more? It intensifies it so much more. And last time. Rest it all the way down. Hug that left knee in. Swirl it around. Let's let the neck loosen up. Look right, look left. And I want to jump right into our cardio sequencing now that we've found a little bit of warmth through our center. Our first movement, I'm going to show you all the movements before we get into it. Our first movement is just crisscross abs. We know these, we love these. It's a bicycle crunch from right to left, but with a little extra sense of urgency as long as you keep those hips nice and stable. From there, you'll come on up to a kneeling position. You're going to grab your weights if you want them, and this is when we get into a little punching that I promised you. So hands come up here, up by the face. You're going to sit into a squat, punch, rotating the arm, bring it back down, punch, rotating the arm. We do this for 40 seconds. If you don't have a foot injury, you can do this standing and give me nice squats instead if you want a little more intensity. But as for me, my foot is injured, so I'm keeping it here on the floor. From there, we're taking that into a little plank with some shoulder taps and some push-ups. So my pants want to fall down today. So that looks like, for me, on my knees to stay off my foot, but if you like to take it onto your straight leg, that's totally welcome. It's really hard. You're going to do opposite shoulder taps, one of each, one push-up. Then you're going to change which side starts the shoulder tap. It's just one of each with some intensity, with some speed. All right, so those are our 3 movements. We're going to go through that set of 3 movements twice. We're doing each movement for 40 seconds, and then we'll do a little more Pilates, and then we'll go through it another 2 times. So let's get started laying on our backs. Let's go into our crisscross abs. We have 40 seconds here starting in 3. Maybe you want to crank up your music. 2, curl up deeply. 1, 40 seconds. Here we go. So our core is already nice and warm from all that work we just did. Really working to keep those hips evenly placed on the ground. Try to let your head stay heavy in the hands so that you're not overworking the neck. Just about halfway through these. Give me about 20 more seconds in these twists, starting to really feel that heat through your abdominals. That's a good thing. We're getting stronger. You're getting stronger. Not a long class, but an intense class. Last 2. 1. Whew. Make your way on up. Take your time, but don't dawdle. Grab your weights if you want them. It's totally optional. And then you can come to standing if you want to do these as regular squats instead as well. Let's go into it. Squat, punch, squat, punch. Now I'm rotating my rib cage, my shoulders, my upper body, but I'm trying at least not to rotate my hips. So I'm square with the hips even though I'm rotating that upper body. Keep those hands up high by your face, in between on that squat. And give me a little bit of force. Give it some more intensity with that punch. Be careful not to shrug those shoulders up. We want to keep our neck nice and healthy here. We have 3, 2, and 1. Drop those weights. Let's take it into, we're going to do 1 shoulder tap on each shoulder, 1 push-up. My leotard wants to peek out. I'm sorry. I don't know what this step is coming off my weights. Okay, so it's 1 shoulder tap on either side, 1 push-up. Let's go. Try to change which side starts the shoulder tap, just so that you're working your obliques evenly. And remember, you can be up here on your toes in a straight leg plank if that feels okay on your body, if you're not working with a foot or ankle injury. I tend to like to do cardio push-ups on my knees anyway, even when I'm not injured, because we're going a little bit faster, and I want to make sure I'm protecting my back. Letting the speed be the intensity versus the being on my straight legs being the intensity. Give me 1 more of these. Last push-up. Okay, we're gonna go back to those crisscross abs. Need to back from my mat, crisscross abs. You're gonna lay down on your back. We're gonna do that whole thing again. So we're feeling a little more awake now, right? Knees up to tabletop, hands behind the head. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let's curl all the way up
And let's get right into our crisscross abs, 40 seconds here. After we make it through that whole set of crisscross abs, of punches, of planks, we take it into a little glute work, and I'm really excited about this glute series. It's so fun, or at least I think it's fun. If you like to feel like your butt is on fire, it's fun. So get excited for that. Just a few more seconds here, a little under 10 seconds. A little faster with those twists. If you're keeping those hips stable, I want more speed. If your hips are not stable, slow it down until you can keep your hips still. And relax. Okay, let's come on up. Grab your weights if you want them, if you need them. You're gonna come on up to that kneeling position. These are more like loungewear leggings, I think, versus activewear leggings. Lesson learned. Coming hands into the chest, come on down into your squat, give me a punch, sit it down. Let's get right into these, let's not waste any time. Force on each of those punches, press into it, breathe, breathe, breathe. Lift and squeeze through your pelvic floor and through your glutes each time your hips come up high. Think about a pelvic thrust forward, really press through the front of your hips so you get that stretch through the front of your hip flexors. Vice versa, relax your pelvic floor, spread your cheeks, spread your sits bones as you sit it down. So we're getting a little bit of both, that release and that strength. Last one. Drop the weights, come down into your plank position, shoulder tap, little push up, let's go. Change which side is starting that shoulder tap. Give me a little more intensity now that you've already been through one round of these. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Exhale, out through the mouth to help propel you up and off the ground. Almost to the end of these. 10 more seconds here. Whew. Last one. Okay, sit it back in your child's pose for a moment, recover, and then make your way back upright. We're gonna do a little bit of that all fours work that I promised you. So you're gonna find your kneeling all fours position, onto the hands and knees, chest, right on top of the hands. We're revisiting that cardio in a few minutes, but for now, coming into more Pilates mindset, press the right leg out straight behind you. Try to drop that right hip just a hair so it's level, and then draw the knee in. Exhale, press it out. Inhale, bring it in. Now you're visualizing a really heavy ankle weight on your ankle for each of these presses out. Or maybe you go ahead and grab an ankle weight. I won't stop you. Exhaling out, inhaling in. Exhale out the mouth, inhale, fold it in. Now, I usually like to flex my foot pretty hard here, like this, but because this is my injured foot, trying not to articulate through my foot too much. But again, if you're not injured, feel free to flex your foot so you can really feel like you're pushing a wall away from you here. Squeezing into your bottom as that leg extends, zipping up through the core as that leg extends. Strength through the arms and shoulders. Leg extends, it stays extended, leg goes down. Squeeze through your bottom to lift, leg goes down. Squeeze to lift. I'm lifting not just from my glute, but from my abdominals and underneath my armpits, pressing away from the ground. Driving through my knuckles, so I take some of that pressure off my wrists. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. This leg stays in the air. You're gonna lower to your left elbow. My left hand comes on top of my right elbow. That right knee now comes into a wide leg crunch to my right armpit, and then I press it super high to the sky. Crunch it in. I want you to feel those obliques. Reach it high. Squeeze into your butt at the top. Press it in. Squeeze into your butt at the top. Try not to sink into those shoulders. Hug it in. Lift it up. Hug it in. Lift it up. We're here for 4, 3. Make sure you're breathing. 2. Getting into that side butt, our lateral hip, our gluteus medius. And now take it up behind us and in. This time, you're just taking that knee to the floor and up like a dog on a fire hydrant. To the floor, up like a dog on a fire hydrant. Just a few more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. We're gonna finish out this leg. We go back to cardio Pilates, and then we do our other leg. And that's all she wrote, okay? So you're about halfway through the class. Exhale, we lift up. Inhale, we lower. Can you squeeze your pelvic floor and your inner thigh as that leg comes back down to the ground? For 2. And 1, let's lift this leg all the way up, extend it back behind you again. Just a pulse, a pulse, a pulse. Really squeeze into the glute with each of those pulses. Should be a little intense at the top of that pulse. For 5, 4, we're not done yet. 3, 2, 1. Stay up on that leg. Reach back up to 2 straight arms. You're gonna take your right leg towards the left corner of your mat. Lift it up to the sky, to the right corner of your mat, into a rainbow. So I'm getting into pulse territory at the top. Each time, press and down, press and down. So if you opted to throw on those ankle weights, you're probably pretty grumpy with me right now, but it's over soon, and you are super strong. Exhale up and around. And if you didn't try it with those ankle weights today, maybe you add this to your to-do list to try again next week, the week after. See how you feel, see how you're progressing. Last 2, oh my goodness. Last 1, set it down, relax those shoulders, walk your hands forward, 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 press your hands through the floor, pull your ribs in the opposite direction. Okay, let's do this all over again. Come to your back. Get ready for your crisscross abs. We're gonna do a nice stretch at the end, so don't worry, I'm thinking of that already. Knees are up in tabletop, head and chest curl up. Let's go. Oop, sorry, planty. Crisscross abs, now let's go. 40 seconds here. Come back into your core. Sneakily, all of that all fours business was still a core exercise, even though we really felt our glutes. But we're bringing it back into focus here. Mentally preparing for the move that comes next, which is our squat punches. Decide if you want to stand, if you want to stay on your knees. Last 2. Last 1. Woo. Bring it on up to those knees. Grab your weights if you want them. We're gonna squat. We're gonna punch. If you want to add a little extra intensity here, we're doing double punches at the top. Looks like this. Punch, punch. Instead of just one of each, it's a double punch. If that's a little bit too much coordination, or you just want to stick with what we did before, also totally fine. Punch, punch. Remember which arm you're starting with, because next time we do it, we're doing this whole thing just one final time after this. You're gonna start with the other arm. Arms stay up here, right under the chin. That's their hangout zone before they punch. Almost there. This class is a great way to get a little dewy, break a little sweat, while still doing some controlled Pilates, that controlled deeper work. Make sure you're breathing. Last time, drop those weights. Let's bring it into our plank scap, plank shoulder taps once again. So you're on your hands and knees, you're in a kneeling plank or a straight leg plank. Let's tap it out, 40 seconds here. Make sure you change which side starts that tap. Squeezing into your glutes. Think of your glutes as part of your core whenever you're in a plank. I know we're on our hands and knees. Quite a bit of class today. Gonna give your lats a little stretch at the end. Make sure you're pressing up and away from that ground for each of these. So I don't want to sink into my shoulders. I'm going to stay lifted, really supported. Whew. One last time. Bring it up. Okay. Let's flip it onto the back. Final round through our cardio. So you know what that means? Give me anything that you happen to have left over in the tank. Hands come behind the head. Knees are up in tabletop. Nice deep curl. Let's go for 40 seconds. Give me a little bit more twist.
A little bit more reach through the leg. Let your head stay heavy in those hands, protecting your neck. We're gonna get into that left leg after we finish this round of cardio. And we're close. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, just 10 more seconds. You never have to do these crisscrosses again. Last 2. And 1. Rest it down just for half a second. Now I'm gonna start with my left arm this time because I started with my right before. Let's go, squat, punch, punch. Now you can keep it in singles if that's what you did last time, but give me a little bit more rotation in those punches. Really mobilize your upper back, strengthening your core. This is a core exercise. Should feel pretty similar actually to those crisscross abs that we just did, if you're paying attention. But with that extra resistance, working through our shoulders and arms as well. Breathe, breathe, breathe. After this, we just have those plank shoulder taps and push-ups. And we are back at, almost forgot that punch, back at opposite leg. Last time. And drop it down. Now, show me your final round of plank push-ups. I want these to be really strong. Go for a little bit more speed here. All right, let's go. Tap, tap, down. Tap, tap, down. You can let your chest hit the floor gently, but let it hit. Get right into it. Whew. That intensity of changing up the dynamic there, that speed, really adds a little something, right? Lots of upper body and abs in today's class. I'm gonna even it out, get some lower body in with our all 4 sequence. Ooh, I'm getting tired, I'm getting tired. Last 2. Last 1. Okay, take a second. Open up the chest. Release through those shoulders. Let's take it into our all 4s. Come onto your hands and knees. Chest on top of the hands. Push the left leg away from you. Inhale, bring it in. Make sure you're doing your second leg here. We're not just repeating side 1. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, press it out. Make sure that you're not swiveling this hip. That left hip bone faces the floor. Exhaling, press it away. Inhale, pull it in. Feel how, as you exhale and you press the leg out, you breathe out and feel that connection to your abs. That engagement around your deepest core muscles on the exhalation. Extend that leg out, it stays out, but it goes up and down. Inhale on the down, exhale on the up. Find your breath here. I know we just did that cardio sequence, but for the rest of class, we're moving a little more slowly, a little more intentionally. It's just a few minutes. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, lower it down. Let's go. 5. Draw shoulders away from the ears. Last 2. This leg stays up. We rotate onto that right elbow, crunch it in. Obliques, press it high. Oblique into that left side of your waist. Hug it in. Feel that connection there. Press it back. Reach it high, high, high to the sky and bend it in. Reach, I'm looking for this little squeeze at the base of my butt as I extend the leg up. Make sure you're not holding your breath here. It makes it so much harder. And it keeps us from using our core effectively. We want to get everything out of our core as possible. We need that all day long, not just during Pilates. Last 2. Press it up. Here we go into our little tiny pulses, right into that under butt area, feeling that gluteal fold connect, squeeze, activate on each of those. Visualize the muscles working, they work even harder. For 3, 2, 1, come up to the hands. Now, from here, you're gonna take that leg to the right side of your mat, make a rainbow, take it to the left side of your mat. Up and over, right, squeeze inner thighs, up and over, left, lift, lower, lift,
lower. Get just as much of that squeeze at the top each time. Keep hugging abs in and pressing up, away from the ground. We have 3, 2, last 1, and rest it all the way down, right in those knees. Drop down. Allow your chest to stretch by taking hands behind the back, interlocking the hands. Oh my goodness, those push-ups definitely feel welcome after those push-ups. Opening up at the chest. This is also a great stretch to do when you've been sitting at your desk for a while. Letting that go, you're gonna go ahead and lay face down on the ground. We take one last moment to get into our posture. Optional weights. Sometimes this can be a little bit too much intensity for my neck. So if you're feeling like your neck is sensitive, skip the weights. Forehead resting on the ground, legs hip width apart, pelvis pressing down through the ground. Reach your arms as long as possible before squeezing at the backs of the arms to lift up and soften down. Just finishing with a little bit of posture work to tie it all together so you feel nice and strong and open with proud posture for the rest of your day. If you're doing this workout at night, I want you to remember this feeling when you wake up in the morning tomorrow. And try not to sleep in a funky position that messes with your back. All right, we go 3. Squeeze backs of the arms. 2. Let's lift it up here. Length through the arms as you lift. Now arms are lifting up as high as they can. They're just taking pulses. My chest is still, but my arms are pulsing. I have a squeeze between the shoulder blades. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up there, pulse it in. We're almost done. This is the final stretch. After this, it's a little stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Melt it down. Woo. Let go of those weights. Press it on up. Back to your all fours. And then onto the back. We finish with a figure 4 to release the hips. Crossing left ankle on top of the right thigh. Hugging that right thigh in, letting your hips open up. Letting the glutes release. And then if you want a little extra spine release, you're just gonna let that shape swivel from side to side. I'm being really gentle on my foot here. I'm not putting any weight in it. Really, it's more in my core. But if it hurts for you to put any pressure on your foot at all, skip this part and just stay in the figure 4. And then we do that, of course, on the second side. I'm crossed above my ankle, not at my foot itself. This hip is feeling tighter since it hasn't been moving as much in my boot. Giving a little extra time and energy to taking care of this leg. And then if you like, take it into a little twisty twist on this side as well. Alrighty, that's all she wrote. You're gonna come on up. And that is it. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling strong through your center and through your upper body. If you want a little bit more arms, a little bit more glutes, definitely check out the quickie classes. Whatever you're feeling like you want to call in to intensify the workout in a way that makes sense for you. And I'd love to hear how it's going. So make sure you drop a comment below and I'll see you on the mat.